Fundamentally, because forcing people to disseminate political beliefs that they fundamentally disagree with, I don't think that's equality. I don't think that's tolerance. I don't think that's freedom. And what motivates me mostly foundationally, what motivates me as a writer and broadcaster and columnist is that I believe in maximum personal freedom for everyone, whether gay or straight, Christian or Muslim or atheist or whatever. So this is a difficult case for me because over, how long am I in this business? About 15 years now. I have always been a supporter of gay rights and I continue to be. I spoke out against the gay adoption ban, the blood donation ban. I've always been pro same-sex marriage, and also in that time I've also given religious fundamentalists a good kicking, and I intend to continue to do both those things because I think there's a lot to stand up for and stand up against in those issues.
So you see this very clearly as a case of compelled speech. You believe that this company is being required to say something morally, religiously or politically they cannot agree with.
Yeah.
And that for you is the central question.
Yeah, and what I want to stress really strongly at the top is, for me, it is not a case of anti-gay discrimination. If Ashers had refused to serve Gareth Lee because he was gay, then that would have been a clear act of discrimination and the bakery's owners would rightly deserve to be prosecuted and fined. I wouldn't be sitting here now if I thought that was the case. I would be down there protesting outside Ashers. All
right. Terry Sanderson, first of all, is this a case of where free speech is the central issue, compelled speech?
No, I don't think so, because like Fionola, I'm very much pro-free speech. I'm a bit of a free speech purist, but this is not really about compelled speech, because the bakery could have been asked to produce a cake about Halloween, for instance, but that doesn't mean to say that they support witchcraft. And I don't think, that producing a cake that said to support gay marriage means that they support gay marriage. But they are a business. They are not individuals. They're a business providing services, and that is protected under the Equality Act. You must not discriminate in the provision of services against people with protected characteristics, of which gay people count. So
you'll have heard the couple in this case from the MacArthur family behind Ash's Bakery, Terry, saying if the person ordering this cake had been heterosexual or gay, it doesn't matter to them. It was the message on the cake that was the issue. How can that be discrimination then?
Well, if a precedent was set that permits a business to pick and choose who it serves on religious grounds, we will quite possibly see notices going up in shops, hotels and other businesses saying that they don't serve gay people because they're religious.
But that would be clearly wrong. I think we'd all agree on that.
Yes, of course it would. But they are a business. They're not a Christian bakery. They're a bakery run by Christians. And because they are a business for profit, they have to abide by the law that says they will provide their services without discrimination.
Just to take you up on that, I do think, again, we're at risk here of conflating the person with the message. I was just looking back at the appeal court judgment, and if you just bear with me, I'll just read out a tiny section of it. They said the reason the order was cancelled was that the appellants, Ashers, would not provide a cake with a message supporting a right to marry for those of a particular sexual orientation. This was a case of association with the gay and bisexual community, and the protected personal characteristic was the sexual orientation of that community. Accordingly, this was direct discrimination. Now, I do have a problem with that because, I could quite happily have gone into Ashers and ordered that cake because I support gay marriage. I'm not gay. And so, to my mind, the inference that the act of just by requesting that cake automatically identifies a person as gay, as the judgment seems to indicate, and that therefore the decline of that request constitutes direct discrimination by association. I think there's a logical problem there.
Are you seeing the term direct discrimination in that judgment to mean unless you are gay, it's not directly discriminatory?
How do you mean, say again?
Because according to the judgment, direct discrimination doesn't require that the person ordering the cake is gay.
Yeah, well, it seemed to be, what did they say, a case of association with the gay.
It's directly discriminatory if it directly impacts the rights of a protected community. So the person ordering the cake doesn't have to be gay for it to be a case of direct discrimination. Now, that's going to be challenged in this, but that's what the judgment says.
Yeah, no, that's what they're saying. But I do think Well, let's come back to the core of this. And I want to bring in Peter Tatchell here because, boy, was I glad when he got involved, because I was feeling very lonely, I have to say. It was company. And he said... this is his view. He said this finding of political discrimination sets a worrying precedent. He said, in my view, it's an infringement of freedom to require businesses to aid the promotion of ideas to which they conscientiously object. And here's the part I really liked. He said, discrimination against people should be unlawful, but not against ideas. And to me, that just summarises the issue.
And it's important to say that, Terry, because simply to state a fact here, there are Christians on both sides of this debate and there are gay people on both sides of this debate. It's not a simple Christianity versus gay people court case.
No, it's an absolute minefield. And if you read the judgment, it is incredibly complicated, trying to balance the rights of religious people with the rights of people in the gay community. Excuse me.
And I should also say there are agnostics, atheists and people of no religion on both sides of this case. And you two are case in point because you're both from that background.
Yeah, but I think we come back to this idea that human rights are for humans and not for businesses. I think that businesses, even if they're run by devout Christians, have to abide by the law. And the law states quite categorically that they have to provide their services without discrimination. And if I can quote just one short paragraph from the judgment, if businesses were free to choose what services to provide to the gay community on the basis of religious belief, the potential for arbitrary abuse would be substantial. And that's my point, that a business cannot be regarded as a person. It is not the religious views of the owners or the proprietors are not the business. And there are all kinds of complications in this case, because you do have to take into account the fact that religion is also protected under the Equality Act.
Of course.
But it cannot be protected when it is interfering with the rights of other people. So, it gets really, really complicated, and I do not envy the judges in having to sort this one out.